Thor Ragnarok is an epic and hilarious installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's being described by critics as the best Marvel movie yet. In this video, we'll look at some of the best theories fans have come up with in relation to the movie. Be warned, this video discusses things that happen in the film, so if you don't want to know any spoilers, you know what to do. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to keep up to date with our new videos as they get published. And before we get started, can you find this Mjolnir Easter egg hidden throughout the video? How many times did it appear?
If I can't hit you with the hammer, then I'll hit the hammer with you!
That's Thanos in the mid-credits scene. This one may seem obvious, but given that it was never confirmed, it is indeed just a theory. In the mid-credits scene of Thor Ragnarok, the ship carrying Thor, Hulk, Loki, Valkyrie, and what remained of the Asgardian civilization was dwarfed by a huge spaceship approaching it. Now, the ship the heroes were in wasn't small, so this other ship must have been absolutely huge. Its pilot and crew weren't revealed, but there's a very strong theory that says it belongs to Thanos. Kevin Feige has suggested the ship's name is Sanctuary, which is indeed the name of the ship belonging to the Mad Titan in the comic books. That could mean Thor and his pals are in deep trouble. For those of you who have seen the leaked Avengers Infinity War footage, you'll remember Thor falling through space and landing on the windscreen of the Guardians of the Galaxy ship. This mid-credit scene could very easily be the precursor to that. Thanos may take over Thor's ship and punch him so hard that he lands millions of miles away. If indeed this theory is true, it certainly makes you concerned for the safety of everyone else who was on board with Thor.
Is that?
What, the gem?
It's the Mind Stone. It's one of the 6 Infinity Stones, the greatest power in the universe, unparalleled in its destructive capabilities.
The Eternal Flame is the final Infinity Stone. So far in the MCU, 5 Infinity Stones have been explicitly depicted: the Tesseract, the Aether, the Orb, the Mind Stone, and the Eye of Agamotto. Many people were expecting the 6th stone, the Soul Stone, to make its first appearance in Thor Ragnarok, but it didn't. Or did it? This theory suggests we saw it in all its glory. The Eternal Flame was a literal flame that had burned for eternity and was stored in Odin's trophy room. While it was never described as being an Infinity Stone, it certainly fits the MCU's profile of one, and more to the point, it's orange, which we know is the color of the final stone, and Hela used it to resurrect the souls of the dead. At the end of the movie, Loki went to Odin's trophy room to use the item to trigger Ragnarok at Thor's request, where he also saw the Tesseract for the first time since 2012's Avengers movie. Could it be that he took both the Tesseract and Eternal Flame with him at the movie's climax in order to hand them over to Thanos prior to the Infinity War? It makes sense and would negate the need to introduce a new stone at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War, which will be a busy enough movie to begin with.
What if you were sipping margaritas on a sun-drenched beach, turning brown instead of green? Not looking over your shoulder for Veronica.
Don't hate, I helped design Veronica.
As a worst-case measure. Tony
Stark helped Hulk leave Earth. At the end of 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, the Hulk quietly left Earth in the Avengers Quinjet, having realized that he was something of a danger to the planet, giving his nigh uncontrollable destructive power. He reappeared in Thor Ragnarok on Sakaar, a gladiatorial planet on which he thrived that was far more suited to his volatile nature. Was it sheer luck that he ended up falling through a wormhole onto Sakaar, or was there more to it? This theory suggests he had a little help from none other than Tony Stark. Stark certainly had a lot of input in the mechanics of the Quinjet.
Lab's all set up, boss.
Oh, actually, he's the boss. I just pay for everything and design everything and make everyone look cooler.
So he could have helped to remotely set its path. Stark's input was made evident in Thor Ragnarok when it was revealed that the vehicle had Thor's name registered in its system as Point Break.
No hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing.
It also makes sense because Stark is the character who's most aware of how dangerous Banner is. He built the Hulkbuster armor after all, and his protective mindset was extremely evident in 2016's Captain America Civil War. He was also Banner's best friend and science buddy, so it stands to reason that he would help him leave Earth if that's what he wanted to do.
Tea? I don't drink tea.
What do you drink?
Not tea.
Doctor Strange will fix Mjolnir. Doctor Strange's appearance in Thor Ragnarok was really nothing more than a cameo. He helped Thor to locate Odin in Norway and temporarily banished Loki to who knows where while doing so. But he messed with the reality around Thor almost playfully, to the extent that it was very obvious to audiences that he has massively grown in power since starring in his own movie in 2016. Thor's hammer Mjolnir was destroyed by Hela in Norway not long after the God of Thunder had encountered Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, and given Strange's huge huge power increase? Some fans have theorized that the powerful magic user will be the man to repair it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The powerful Asgardian weapon, which was forged in the heart of a dying star, was smashed into 1,000 pieces by Cate Blanchett's character. But if the heroes can recover just a fragment of it, there's every chance it could be remade with magic. And it would be a great way to further emphasize just how powerful Benedict Cumberbatch's character has become. Thor Ragnarok showed that Thor is extremely powerful even without Mjolnir, but it would be great to see him wielding it again at some point in the future.
Hail, Hela, goddess of the dead. We seek an audience.
The sons of Odin risk much entering my realm.
Hela isn't dead. At the end of Thor Ragnarok, Hela appeared to perish in the midst of Surtur's violent and powerful assault on Asgard, which resulted in the realm's complete destruction. However, this theory suggests that she managed to survive the scenario, and with good reason. Hela is the goddess of death, and as such might not actually be able to die. Moreover, there's a good chance that she has a major part to play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. If Hela is the MCU's version of Mistress Death, she may well sit by Thanos' side in Avengers Infinity War, perhaps as the object of the Mad Titan's affections, just like Mistress Death did in the comics. As if Thanos and his henchmen weren't enough trouble for them. Cate Blanchett's character was fantastic, arguably the best villain in the MCU to date, so her return would be most welcome, and therefore we really hope this theory turns out to be true.
Valkyries! Warriors! Your seats in Valhalla are promised! Protect Odin with your lives!
Valkyrie will become Thor in the MCU. There's been a lot of talk about a female Thor appearing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe ever since Jane Foster became the female Thor in the comics. However, if Thor Ragnarok is anything to go by, Natalie Portman's version of Foster won't be appearing in the franchise again anytime soon. This has led some fans to theorize that Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie may become the female Thor of the MCU in the future. Valkyrie is an awesome character who, like Thor, is an Asgardian who's rather good at kicking ass, and it does seem to make more sense to pass the Thor mantle onto a character who's both as tough as Thor and popular with fans, both of which Jane Foster absolutely is not.
Did he just... Who do you think you are?
Valkyrie didn't only survive the movie, she thrived in it. Thompson looked like she was having a lot of fun, and her character showed the kind of bravery and loyalty that could make her worthy of Thor's power going forward. If anyone is going to take on the role in the future, we'd love it to be her.
I am your host,
the Grandmaster. I know who you are, too.
Then you know my reputation for putting on a good show, like this one.
The Grandmaster is a Celestial. Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster was one of the many highlights of Thor Ragnarok, but very little is actually known about the character. Goldblum basically played himself as he does so often, and it worked brilliantly. The Grandmaster was funny, charming, and in a strange way intimidating all at the same time. In the comics, the Grandmaster is an Elder of the Universe, as is the Collector, who was played by Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy, but this theory suggests he's a Celestial in the MCU. There's already a Celestial character in the MCU who isn't one in the comics, so you can't rule out the theory out on that basis. Kurt Russell's ego was revealed to be a Celestial, despite not being one in the source material.
A Celestial like a god?
Small G, son. At least on the days I'm feeling humble as Drax.
This theory was fueled by a Funko toy of Grandmaster, which was labeled as being a Celestial. Although it wasn't labeled as such on an official source, it still makes sense given the MCU's tendency to make changes from the comics. In fact, we're getting the impression that the definition of a Celestial in the MCU is just any ancient being who possesses amazing cosmic powers.
And who proved wrong all who scoffed at the idea that a young maiden could be one of the fiercest warriors this realm has ever known?
I did.
True, but I supported you, Sif.
Sif has been banished from Asgard. To date, Sif and the Warriors 3 have been important allies to Thor and Asgard as a whole in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, while Fandral, Hokan, and Volstagg were all present, and sadly all met their violent ends in Thor Ragnarok, Jamie Alexander's Lady Sif was nowhere to be seen in the movie. Could she have died off screen at the hands of Hela during the movie itself? Or was she simply not around? Loki was revealed to have been sitting on Asgard's throne since the events of Thor: The Dark World, and given that he and Sif never really saw eye to eye, Sif was probably banished from Asgard by the god of mischief. Alexander was busy filming her show Blind Spot, which is why she wasn't available to appear. But she wants to play Sif again, and this theory certainly means she could appear in the MCU again in the future. And it's probably fair to say that everyone would be more than okay with that, as she was a very popular character.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Do you have any theories of your own about Thor Ragnarok? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more great videos like this one. We hope you had fun guessing. Bye for now.